King in Black, baby. This is the book that I think has been on everybody's watch list and wait list for, I don't know, since the announcement, I guess. This is like the culmination of everything that Donny Cates has been working on at his tenure at Marvel right now. Has it been 10 years? I don't know. He's been there a while, though. He's done a lot of Venom shit. So, I haven't been caught up on everything happening in the Venom book itself. I've only read the first trade, and I know everything about Knull that I need to understand what this book's supposed to be. And I'll be honest with you guys, I liked the book. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I did a lot of cool stuff I like. I don't think it reaches the hype that some people have brought to it. To me, it is no different than Empire. It isn't any different than Empire. It's no different than Death Metal. It's just one of these schlucky books that's going to dark, weird places. And I like that. I think there's something fun about that. But I don't think there's these over-the-top stakes or it's doing anything that we haven't seen before. It's just this time there's symbiotes, there's a new god in Knull, and things are going to be a little different. Not that big of a deterrent from things we've seen before, but it could surprise me. This is, of course, the first issue. It did some things that did surprise me. But overall, I'm like, okay, I can continue reading this. So we jump right into the book. Like, it literally opens. Cap is like, all right, Knull's coming. We gotta fight him. What are we gonna do? And we see that Eddie's trying to wake up. Dylan is like, I gotta get you to safety. Knull's coming. Why waste any time? We gotta get you to a shelter there, Dylan. We gotta get you out of here and keep you safe. And that's pretty cool. At the same time, the hordes of these dragons are coming down to attack the world pretty much, but the Avengers and Avengers Mountain. And there's one thing I like about this book too, is that it takes lore from everything in ways that not even the books it's referencing take lore or like continuity from the things it's talking about. So the Avengers are in Avengers Mountain. Tony's like, all right, so we can pilot a few of these ships that are holdovers from Empire, from the Kree and the Skrull, and I'll take control of them and I'll blast all these dragons before they can come to Earth. So that's pretty much what Tony does. He kills a bunch of them, but it doesn't do any good. They're still able to attack the Earth. And in this time, Eddie's like, oh shit, that didn't do anything. Dylan, here's a safe house from Peter Parker when he was like talking to some guy named Ezekiel. So there's a fun reference too to Ezekiel. You know, that's a fun character people enjoy. So we're like, we're going to keep Dylan in this safe house so nobody can find him. And Venom's going to try a new plan. That is, he's going to go to the remnants of when Carnage took over the city. And I think, was that Absolute Carnage? I never read it. I'll be honest, guys. I don't care about Venom. Donny Cates did his best job at making Venom cool for everyone. And I will say it's the best job anybody's done on the character. He made him at least likable. Do I still think Venom's that interesting? He's okay. I'll probably finish reading his book. I'll read this whole event, but I'm not going to go out of my way to say I love this character, because I don't. I think he's just an okay character. So, yeah, the ships failed. Tony's like, oh, well, what do we do now? And in comes Cap's plan. So we got a couple waves of troops here. Our first wave is going to be people on the street, led by Captain America. These are your characters who are street level, but have some sort of power. You see people like Iron Fist and Doctor Strange and all these kinds. But as the book progresses, we get a lot of interesting faces appearing in panels in here. And I'm not going to go into like specifics of when they show up, but characters we see here, we see Black Cat for some reason. That's weird to me. Kamala Khan is here, which is kind of scary because this is a lot for Kamala to deal with. There is a reference to Daredevil number 25 in this book that came out the same day as this one. I won't spoil what it is, but if you read that book before you read this one like I did, and then you jump into this, you're like, whoa, that's really good timing. So that's something to look out for. It's just some really interesting stuff that we see a bunch of these different characters here. Doctor Strange is there, obviously. It's just really interesting. You know, it's really fun. So they're fighting the troops on the ground. They're doing okay, but they're not really winning. So then we have to call in the next troop, which is the people of the air. And guess who it is, baby? That's right. It's the X-Men. And the X-Men come into play here. They're taking them all down. They're having their fun. We tease the X-Men heavily appearing in this book. And because we can't get a hold of Thor, we got the next best thing, and arguably the better thing than Thor, if you ask my honest opinion. Aurora Monroe. Storm is just like, I'll be the light that shines through all this shit, and she just starts blasting everything, being the powerful goddess she is. And that shit is fire. That was cool. I love seeing Storm just like, yeah, I can take them down. Let's do this shit. And that was really fun to see. And at the same time, like I said, Eddie was trying to do the thing where he gets over the stuff from Absolute Carnage and gets into the mine, figuring out where everything is. So all of our troops are fighting. They're slowly losing. And then we see what's about to touch down is some symbiote Celestials, and I think there was a husk of a corpse or something. I can't remember what they said, but it's kind of played up here. I don't know if it's referenced in another thing that the Celestials were the first enemies of Knull. Either way, it's fine. Not a big deal. See that? So Knull comes out like the chest of a Celestial. He's like, "Hey, you guys know who I am? I'm the Batman who laughs, but it's Marvel. Venom, where is he? Like, I'm gonna come take you down." And all of our people are like, "This is gonna go bad. We need our heavy hitter. We need our big guy to here." So Knull walks down. All of our street level characters are staring up at him. They're like, "What are you doing? You're gonna fight me?" And like Cap just goes, "We're not here to fight you. We're here to watch." And in the moment you think, "Oh, Thor's finally gonna come in to save the day," no, son of a bitch, he doesn't. It's the Sentry. The Sentry just shows up. He's like, "Hi, I'm Sentry. My name's Bob." Boom, blasts him into space. That shit was cool. That was the biggest surprise of the book for me, for one reason alone. I love the Sentry. A really great character, but I think the Sentry is mixed with the Void right now, so he's supposed to have the red costume with black hair. If we saw him last there, that's okay, but who cares? Is the Sentry. Who's going to complain about seeing the Sentry right there? I don't think they have the right costume for Iron Fist in this book. I don't give a shit. Costumes just change every day. You want to get the classic Sentry look in here? That's fine by me. So he blasts Knull into space. They're having the thing. And then Knull's like, "Oh, I remember you. You're the guy that killed Carnage that one time in New Avengers. Yeah, that's fun. You know, I am the god of death and darkness and everything. And that little thing inside your head, I'm going to take that, you motherfucker." So he just rips the Void out of Sentry. And it's like, oh, shit. We're not doing pretty good here anymore. Things are starting to go badly. They just took out the Sentry. And now Knull has the Void from the Sentry. So maybe that could lead into something cool with the Sentry happening later. That could be a really fun book to see. And everything's falling apart. Cap's like, "We gotta retreat." But the entire ground crew just gets swept up by the symbiote stuff. Spider-Man's trying to escape. I don't remember if he does or not. If I had to imagine, we'll get a good Spider-Man tie-in that's not the symbiote Spider-Man book, but we'll see what happens there. And then we see that the people in the sky are getting taken down. Storm's like the last one really standing and fighting. And she's just doing an alright job till she gets swept away from it all. And then we see Eddie's like, "Oh shit, I got a bad plan, Tony, but it might just work." Because Tony's our guy over the comms for some reason. You know, not like a guy in a big Iron Man suit could be helpful in this situation. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. And he's like, "I'm going to give him what he wants." And Tony's like, "That's a stupid idea, Eddie. What are you doing?" But he does. He links up to the mind of Knull, and then Knull finds him. He's like, "Oh, there you are. I should have been more specific on which Brock I was looking for, because I was looking for the other one, and here you are. I don't really like you. So goodbye." Rips the symbiote off of Eddie. Eddie's dropping to the just to his death, and we see that the Venom symbiote is now with Knull. And that's where the book ends. So I like that this book doesn't hold anything back. It's just like, yep, Knull's here. Let's fight him. Let's get our troops together. Let's get all our characters in this area. The Avengers, the X-Men, the street level characters. Everyone's here. Why waste any more time? Here are all of our characters. Here's everything in the world. Knull is coming to destroy them all. They're all wiped out. What's going to happen to Eddie in this situation? What's going to happen to Tony in this situation? What's going to happen to any of our characters in here? Where's the Sentry going to end up? Where the hell is Thor? I wonder if this is going to connect to what Donny Cates did in Thor number 10 this week. Maybe Donald Blake is going to do something to team up with Knull. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's a solid book. It gives me some serious death metal vibes, and I don't mean that as a deterrent or negative about the book at all. I know they're saying there's going to have stakes in here, but how big, honestly? It's just one of those schlucky events that I'm okay with. This one's a little darker. It's a little more hardcore. I've said this before. I'm going to say it here to you guys. We are kind of in like the metal age of comic books. You know, we had the golden age, the silver age, the bronze age, the modern age. This is the metal age. We got death metal, we got King in Black. Things are hardcore and metal and intense. I'm calling this the start of the metal age again. I think this book's fine. I really think it's fine. I hope it gets better. At the pace it's going now, I think it's going to be a fun story that I cannot wait to read. But I'm not going to say like this blew my mind. It changed this landscape of comic books or events or Venom. This is what he's been working to. So yeah, it feels like what he worked to, and it's a fine enough book that I'm like, this is good. I don't have any more thoughts about it, really. So I hope I can review a lot of the tie-ins for you. There's a few I'm not going to do. Just ones from like books I don't really care to read or that I want to see. You know, I'm trying to find, I think I saw the list here of what stuff's coming out for it. I will be talking about the Union. I think because that one was supposed to be a tie-in to Empire, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Probably do the Namor ones. Probably do... Oh, I don't know. I'll definitely do the Namor ones. The Iron Man Doctor Doom one, probably. The Immortal Hulk one, probably. But things like Atlantis Attacks, Black Cat, Spider-Woman, I don't think I'm going to do reviews for those. So stay tuned for that stuff coming to this channel. And before we leave, I always like to give you guys a 10 out of 10 rating for this book, but this book to me is not a 10 out of 10. So King in Black, issue number 1, the highest rated book for a lot of people. I don't know if it's highest rated, but the most anticipated book for a lot of people. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.